I'm excited. Excited to be here. Excited to wear the crest once again. To share my fans and my stadium with the team that's going through such an important stage of soccer right now. And to have them in my home state and to be in my home stadium is going to be something special come Tuesday. Our fans are fanatics. They're passionate. When we play there, they're standing, they're singing. So I think they're going to be really surprised and overwhelmed of how much support Real Salt Lake and Salt Lake City can bring them. These are the fans that I put my the heart of the line for, and it's going to be no different on Tuesday. If I'm on the field or on the bench, I'm going to put my heart on the line to get that victory.
He's such an important guy in the team. Every time he comes in, he's positive. He's a leader. He's a guy who, win, lose or tie, whether he plays, whether he doesn't play, is so important for the spirit, so important for the mentality of our team. He's an older player who has a lot of experience, and he just brings a veteran, calming presence to the group. And I think guys around him certainly look up to him, and as I said, he's really grown into a really important role in our team.
Nicky's one of the good guys, man. I've roomed with Nicky since I was like 16 years old on the under 17 team, and I've got stories that I can't tell on camera, but he's literally one of my best friends in soccer. And he's a team first guy. No one ever has a bad word to say about him. And he wins. He's won championships, he's won MVPs, and it's just brilliant to see him.
I've known Timmy for a while now, since the under 17 days, and coming in here, I didn't miss a beat with him. Laughing the first day I saw him, my first day in camp, and now with Brad, just a great guy that I think the nucleus between all three of us right now is huge. Not only on the field, but off the field. And when you're comfortable with those guys and you train better, you're comfortable on the field, and the intensity rises, but when it needs to drop a little bit and have some fun, we have the personality to do that, and that brings us closer together.
I think Nick has a lot of qualities that he brings to the team. It's not always easy when you're like the third goalkeeper to come in, but I think he knows his role, and he's a veteran guy who helps out the team in many ways. He's played for a championship team in Salt Lake, been part of a group here that I think in the last 4 or 5 years in MLS has been one of the best teams in the league, and they have a really good group, and I think he's a leader on that team, so he brings that leadership into the national team, and he's a good guy to have in the group because he's always laughing and joking, having a good time, making the atmosphere in the team good.
In the beginning, it was tough because I'm a competitor, but you have to change the page. You have to know your role. I think it's a special mindset that you have to have, and I think I feel that role pretty well. You don't lose your leadership, your edge, your intensity, but you need to have something else off the field and ease the tension when you need to with the guys, and bring it up when you can, and really just be there off the field as much as on the field, because these games could be pretty intense at times, and if things aren't going right, you need somebody to kind of cool things down, and that goalkeeper role, that third goalkeeper role, is huge, and I'm happy to be it.
Like all us old guys, we get older. We have kids. We have to mature a little bit, and he's a fantastic father. He's great in his community, and he's just a consistent face. And I think all good players, all great players, that's what you say about them. They're always out there. You can always count on them, and Nicky's a guy we can count on.
I think just the honor of being called in and wearing the crest on your chest. I know that I could play and compete at this level, and I know this might be my last run, and it is my last run, so I want to do as much as I can to continue this run and be a part of the national team. I've proven it when I've played in games for Jurgen, so that gives me the confidence and the coaching confidence that if I do get in, that I'll be able to do the job.
First and foremost, on the field, he continues to get better. I think he's consistently shown in MLS that he's one of the best, if not the best, goalkeepers. And you see that carry over every time when he comes into our team. He's confident. He's with the ball very good. Athletic, and really is able to make a lot of big saves. And so, as I said, he's somebody who we rely on when we come into camp to help us set the tone.
He's got a great sense of humor. He's always joking around. He keeps things light and lively, but he always takes the game seriously. And I think it's good for a guy like Nick to be around, especially with you know, we've got a pretty young team on balance, you know, and for guys to kind of see Nicky and know that he's been there and done it, and he keeps on doing it, but also he's a guy who keeps things lighthearted. So, you know, for this group, for our young guys, it's really good to see him.
I think as you grow up, you go through the good times and the bad times, and you learn from your mistakes. And I've definitely learned from playing in games and my mistakes on and off the field. And you know, at 33, I think I've learned a lot in my playing career, and now it's time for me to give back as that third goalkeeper, as a role model on and off the field, and I think the guys respect me for that.